Anyway, everyone, we're finally starting. And so my name is David Leite, and I'm the founder of Leite's Culinaria, also the author of The New Portuguese Table, as well as the memoir Notes on a Banana. And
I'm Amy Traverso. I am, what am I, David? I'm not a therapist, although I
but
thought
I've
I
been
would
on
be if I
television.
wasn't this. Um, I am the food editor for Yankee Magazine. I co-host the public television show Weekends with Yankee, and I
Yay.
wrote a book called The Apple Lovers Cookbook. And David and I have known each other for many years, and we had a podcast
We
for a
did
couple of years. We were
talking with
trying to
my
do it.
mouth full. And so, Amy, it's interesting because, I have a healthy ego, as we know,
Uh-huh.
a healthy ego. And so when I said that I was doing this, last week I jumped on, just kind of like last minute kind of thing. Everyone said, that was great. Where's Amy? That's great. Where's Amy? This would be so much fun if we brought Amy back on. Apparently, the work that I have done for how many, 26 years, all comes down to having Amy on the show. Apparently, you are
Well,
our favorite.
we have missed doing it, and over the past couple of years, we would text each other and be like, we should do it again, but we couldn't quite figure out how to do it in a way that made sense because
And didn't cost so much money,
yes,
right?
we were losing money on it. We wanted it to sound really professional, like
Yeah.
radio,
Yeah.
and so we were paying a producer to do that, who we love and who
We
I
love Adam.
miss
I would work with Adam in a heartbeat,
a
but
heartbeat.
it was taking a long time to do them, and we had to
Yeah,
check the edits out, and we had to have these sound cues, and he was great. He also announced stuff for us,
he's
and we
so good.
absolutely, absolutely loved it. But it was costing us a lot of money. We weren't
Yeah.
getting a lot of sponsors.
Right, exactly, and neither one of us is enough of, like, a business well, no, you actually are very business-minded, but I don't think either of us is, like, super good at sales, so
No, no, I just find it icky to sell
yeah.
myself. So anyway, when I did this last week and everyone said, "Where's Amy? Where's Amy?" I thought, you know what, this could be fun. So I called Amy. I said, "Want to do this?" And she said, I'll pop in." And we thought, this is unscripted, guys. There's no scripts, there's no music cues, there's no editing. If anyone's going to make a mistake, it's going to be me. We know that because I'm the one who always screws up. But we're just going to sit and just talk about the stuff we usually talk about with the podcast. Please, everyone in the chat, the live chat, ask your questions, have your comments, all that kind of stuff. We really want to make sure that you're getting from us what you're looking for. So, Amy, let's start out with, I guess the most important thing is, did I already mention Clubhouse? Did I already say that? I did. Did I not
We
say
have
that? We
not
talked
here.
about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for those of you who don't know who we are Damie. That's our celebrity name together. Like, what is it? Bennifer was one of them. And then it's we get the names put together. It's David and Amy, called Damie. And Amy and I have known each other for a very long time. Actually, she hired me, God, what, like 15 years ago, 18 years ago, to write
Wow,
for Yankee.
yes, I
Remember
remember the
that?
Portuguese. Yes.
Yes, so long
I think
ago.
we met at the Greenbrier, which used to be this
We did
great
it, which was a food
conference for
writers
food writers, yeah.
symposium. And then so during COVID, when everyone had so much time in their hands, Amy, I think you're the one who started it. You created um, uh, an audio room on Clubhouse. Remember
Right.
Clubhouse?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's still
It had a
around.
moment, yeah.
And so I joined in. I just thought I would just sign up and join in the room. And then Amy and I started chatting, and it felt like really fun because we were just doing what we're doing now, which is just chatting. And then do you remember, this is when I went, there's something about this. I was doing an Instagram live for some reason. I don't know what I
Oh,
was
yeah,
living. And you
right.
were in your car coming back from the Sally Eckes going, Clubhouse. Those were the days. Yes, they were. You were coming back from the gym and you were
Oh,
in your
yeah, and I
car
called in, right.
and then you joined my live with me on Instagram. And it was like, this was wonderful. It just felt so much fun. And then so when I started up my podcast, Talking with My Mouth Full, for the second time, this is actually the fourth time, I had Amy on as a guest. And my co-host at that time was Renee Shetler Rossi. And we had Amy on as a guest. And I hate to say this. I mean, Renee, if you're listening, I'm sorry. Amy and I kind of took over the show. We were talking about New England, fried clams, apple pie.
Right.
Remember all of those wonderful things in New England, because we're both from New England. And then when I we started when Renee left and I started it again. I thought Amy has to be the co-host. So that's how we got here. Hey, Rob Machado, I'm finally glad you were able to catch us live. So, Amy, let me ask you, how was, we used to say food fortnight, but
Oh
Lord
my
knows it's been like
gosh.
2 years. How was
Yeah.
your food week?
My
Anything
food week.
interesting?
Okay. Well, am it's very interesting, and I wanna hear people's thoughts about this. I despite the fact that I'm passionate enough about food to have made it my career
Yeah.
and, I develop recipes and I, write about food and restaurants and all of it, the day-to-day grind of making dinner will wear anybody down, and I was really losing touch with what I liked about cooking, and then we found a solution in my family, which is that,
Mhm.
and for me, it's partly that I'm definitely on the ADD spectrum and like the kind of organization required to really be on top of daily meal prep. Like I'm just not a person that's going to sit down on a weekend day, make a list, figure out the menu, plan it all out, figure out what I need to buy, go to the store on Sunday, buy all the stuff, batch cook. I mean, it's just not how my brain works.
Yeah.
So God bless those people. We need those people. But so it was the daily like, oh, what am I gonna make? Oh, what do I have? Ugh.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
out of ideas. I've developed so many recipes, but I can't think of one. And so we started getting 3 times a week. We tried 3 different meal like kits. We started with
Oh,
Hungry
but
Root, which was
which one was
bad.
that?
Hungry Root,
I never
wait,
heard of them. Any, no, no
yeah,
good.
wait,
No.
what do we have? Yeah, okay. So then we went to Blue Apron, which we felt was a little repetitive, and now we're with HelloFresh. But the thing is, my husband started cooking. So
Great.
I and it's funny because part of it is probably like whatever internalized patriarchy, but
Yeah.
also, it's my job, so it's sort of my area to be the cook.
Uh-huh.
And so for him, the cool thing is now cooking for him is like a fun new skill he's learning.
Right. Yeah, it's
I
new
get
for him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get the joy of having someone make a meal for me, which wasn't
Right. Which
happening
is
that
great.
often.
Right.
And I've kind of started to reconnect with what I like about cooking. Um, Although right now I'm still in a stage where it's very much like I love projects. I love like my rhythm of making the sourdough bread every,
Yeah.
week or every few days. And I'm making homemade yogurt now and I've got the cardamom buns in the oven, like just those kind of projecty things. And then
Yeah.
Scott kind of taking on some of the day-to-day cooking. It's just been a really nice balance. So,
So what have he or you been making that you've been loving lately?
so the in terms of the meal kits or in terms of other stuff? Like, for
Whatever.
me, like, this time of year, I love making, like, just a really good cornbread and chili, like, that's just everybody's happy. Um, I love doing that. I'm also working right now on, on Yankees.
Right.
If you can believe it, I'm working on recipes for the July, August issue. So there is there's like a Detroit style kind of tomato pie recipe that I'm working on.
Very cool.
Yeah, so and it's fun because thankfully at Whole Foods they have heirloom tomatoes. And I'm sure they're not nearly as good as,
Yeah,
local,
but
but
you live in Boston. I live in a culinary wasteland here
right.
in Northwest Connecticut. So there's nothing. I can't even find um a gorgonzola dolce. I can't even
Oh,
find that.
right.
Can't even
Yes.
find mild provolone. I can't even
Right.
find that. So
Which is it's a good in a way, it's a good measure of like if you can't find it, then other people aren't gonna be able to find the ingredient.
right.
So,
You have to do all the substitution. So I do
yeah.
use that as a measure.
Yeah.
So what's like been your favorite thing for the last week that you've eaten or cooked?
Well, I think these cardamom buns because I just checked on them before we started and they look okay. I got this book this week. I'm feeling super inspired.
Ah,
Juno
you
the
know the thing.
Bakery.
Sure. Bakery, you know the bakery.
Juno
Yeah.
the Bakery. It's backwards, right?
I'm seeing it proper.
Oh, you are? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. This bakery is in Copenhagen. We went there a couple years ago, and it is internationally famous for good reason. The pastries are unbelievable, and of course, the cardamom buns are right on the cover.
Proper, yeah.
So they really, honestly, if I do say so myself, I just looked at them. They look as good
Do they really?
as
Let's see the
this.
photo.
Yeah, they really look great. And I
Oh, and
maybe
did you do
I'll
the
run
the
it.
the knotting and everything with the 3
Yeah,
strings? Did
Yeah,
you?
and I wanna talk about this later because the recipes are really badly written, and, I would maybe we wanna chat about that a little bit later. But anyway, so I'm very inspired to just kind of cook a bunch of things out of this book right now. How about you? How is your food fortnight?
You it's interesting 'cause, the one is leaving for Uruguay for a whole month.
Right,
My heart is breaking. So, I've also been trying to get a lot of work done, a lot of photography. So sometimes our eating schedule is determined by my photography schedule.
right.
So this in the last 7 days or so, uh, I think last night I made garlic butter steak bites. You ever
Ooh.
had that?
No, that sounds so
It's
good.
sirloin that's cut up in cubes, and there's some onion and garlic, and you sear them in butter. You sear the steak first to get it all nice and, crispy, but medium rare. Take it out, do, butter with garlic and with rosemary and some thyme, and then you throw them back in, and you just mix them all up, and you serve it. And
Ugh,
they were usually extremely good, but because I am trying, again, for the millionth time to lose weight, I'm following Weight Watchers because they do the whole GLP-1 thing,
right, right.
and so when I was aghast that it was like 28 points for
Ugh,
one serving.
point
That is like half of Alan's points for the day because he's also doing Weight
right,
Watchers. So I cut back on it. They were good, so that was fun. That's actually on the list.
right.
And then,
So wait,
I
the meat, because I've done Weight Watchers so many times. The meat
meat is high.
beef is high in points, not like chicken, right? They
No,
penalize
chicken
you for
now it's a 0 point thing. It's like,
right.
you could eat 17 barnyards of chicken. There's like no point. But no, when it comes to beef, beef is high. And, so
Have have you
then
done the 2 ingredient flatbreads, though? It's equal
I
parts
haven't. I just
yogurt. They're
that is
really good.
all
And
it's
Greek
almost
yogurt and self-rising flour, very
oh, because
good.
it's almost a moment of outrage and indignation for me. The 2 ingredient this, the 2 ingredient that, the 1 ingredient ice cream, I just,
The
I I do,
but for
I mean,
Weight Watchers, they're such a treat.
out of principle, I am not baking. But another thing that I've made, and I've already done one big thing of it. There's several people on here, Amy, excuse me, Lila, and also I believe uh, uh, Laura Beaver is here, and they were part of my on my tour in Italy, the Cook's Tour of
Wow.
Florence. And so one of the dishes we made there was a lasagna bianca,
Oh,
which is just white lasagna, which is just a bechamel sauce with 4
mhm,
cheeses. So I made a whole yeah, Weight Watchers be damned. I made a 9 by 13 of this,
mhm.
cut into 1, 2, 4. I think I cut it to either 12 or 16 pieces. By 48 hours later, I had eaten 8 of the pieces. I ate basically 3 quarters of the pan.
Right.
It was really good, but I'm working on it again because I wanna have a different kind of cheese, so it's a little bit more flowy and melty. So
Mm.
that's another one. Then you ready for this? Did you like SpaghettiOs when you were a kid?
No, I didn't. But I have a very clear taste memory of what they tasted like.
Right, okay.
And I wasn't snobby. I wasn't a snobby kid. It's just that wasn't my
I
thing.
wasn't allowed to eat them as a kid,
Okay.
because I had to eat things like,
Yeah.
pig eyeballs and all the kind of stuff my my Portuguese grandmother would make and stuff. But, I saw this thing that just going by a feed somewhere, someone had seen homemade SpaghettiOs, and I thought, "Is that a thing?
That's fun.
Do you know SpaghettiOs?" I thought they made SpaghettiOs for SpaghettiOs. I didn't think that was a real pasta. It's a real pasta called annellini and annellini or annelletti, and they're little ring pastas. So I just made a pot of homemade SpaghettiOs, and I photographed it. And so it was actually great. And it's interesting. The one was like, "Oh my god, SpaghettiOs!" Now he saw it eat 1.5 bowls full.
Mm.
He loved it. And then the other
Thinking of
thing
those, did you do the mini meatballs with them?
I made the mini I did 1 pound of meatballs that were a little more than a half inch in diameter.
Ugh,
It was
that's
like a
so fun.
million meatballs.
That
And
makes
then
me wanna make Italian wedding soup, and I have a friend who I need to deliver a meal to, and that I think I'm gonna do that.
oh,
That's
that's
so good.
fun. And then the
Yeah.
last thing was, a Portuguese chocolate mousse. I have pictures. Do you wanna see them?
Ooh, yeah.
Let me see if I can share my screen. So anyway,
Okay.
Sally says, "Amy, out of
Yeah.
curiosity, how many recipes do you plan to cook from the book? And for the both of you, how many recipes do you cook from a new book? as food people. Okay, Sally, I'm a bad food person. I'm a very bad food person. I maybe make 3. If it's a book, like when I was a judge for the James Beard Awards, I make a lot, maybe a dozen, maybe 15 out of the cookbook, one at least one from each chapter. But when I'm just buying it or I get like a PDF or something like that, it's about 3, I guess. We are all bad food people. How about you, Amy? How many do you make?
Yeah, I mean, this book I see at least 8 that I wanna do, but that's not typical. It's partly because I can't go to Copenhagen, at the drop of a hat,
Yeah.
but so that kinda motivates me to wanna make more of this stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and I've just been really enjoying baking lately. So, um, yeah, so I'll make more, but typically, I honestly feel like so often I need to be creating new recipes,
Yeah.
and sometimes I forget that making other people's recipes is the best source of inspiration. I
Yeah.
can get into this mode where it's like, "No, I need to make it up,"
Yeah.
and
I agree. I
actually cook
agree.
some other people's recipes, you'll get an idea. Yeah.
Let me show the photos. I was pretty happy with them, just from
You
a
have really
photographic
great food
standpoint.
photography, yeah.
Thank you. So let me see. Share my screen. Show your audience exactly what's on your screen. Audio sharing is coming soon. Okay. So let's see. I
Just
think it's this one.
close the porn.
Close the port. Yeah. Up. And you
That's
see this?
beautiful.
So this is the ingredient list, right? Can I make it
Wow.
larger? I can. So ingredient shot, right? And this is real pasta. That's not
Oh,
like made
nice.
by Campbell Soup or Franco American. It's real pasta. And so
Wow.
that's the finish.
David, that's gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm really pretty happy about it. If you guys are interested in getting the recipe, please write
Uh,
SpaghettiOs with a yes, so I'll know. So
I l
it's still set up. The pot is still there on my photography stand.
How did you cut the little O's?
That they come like that. See right here. They
Oh,
quite
so you could buy them.
it's called
Oh my
agnellini.
god, that's so fun.
I didn't think that was a real thing. I just thought it was something they made up at the food company, but
That
it's
is
a
really
real
fun.
Italian pasta. So when I saw that, I thought I got to try it.
Yeah.
That was the finished dish, and then this is for my
Perfect.
chocolate mousse.
Ooh,
I know, and I use pink peppercorns on top and sea salt,
nice.
and it's so wonderful. And this is one of the finished dishes I just shot. I shot this maybe a week and a half ago,
That's
and
so
yeah,
pretty. Ah,
right?
that
It's
copper is inspired.
thank you, isn't it? It's great. So if you guys would like also to get any of these, right?
Huh.
Spaghettios, yes. Chocolate mousse, yes.
How
So
did you what was your setup for that beautiful lighting?
this was it's a flat table. And that's a surface on it. So I'm shooting above, atop, obviously overhead. It's a flat lay, and there's a light to a strobe to my right, and I have it kind of shuttered down, so it's blocked by pieces of black cardboard, and it's allowing just a little bit of light in across, for instance, the plate of a plate of chocolate mousse right there, and
Wow.
the same exact setup. I just went from a side view and got a wooden bowl, and so yeah, it's all flash, and that's the same exact setup, same exact lighting. This one is the light is in the same place, but there's nothing between it. There's no black cardboard, and you can see here, I actually had a lace curtain in front to give it some texture.
Gosh, David, you're so good. Like
Thank you.
you're like a real food photographer.
I'm stoked. So if you guys are interested, let me know. So I need to get back over here, right? Yes. So I'm getting too many childhood memories. Can't eat them. Oh, okay, excellent. So then, kitchen beard. Mousse is hard to make look good. It's a tendency to look like, yes, exact
Yes,
something else. Yes. And this is a
absolutely.
different mousse, because French mousse is, there's, of course, the egg yolks and the egg whites, and you fold it all in. This one, when I went to this place, it's almost like a pudding. And
Mm.
so it's 6 egg yolks, 3 egg whites, and you don't you usually you just would whip the egg yolks, right? To get them
Mhm.
kind of like just lightly beaten. This you put into a stand mixer for 7 minutes until it's really thick and custardy with the sugar. And
Ooh.
then you pour in the melted chocolate with the butter. There's butter in this. There's a stick of butter.
Mm.
Then you mix it all up, and then you you whisk the egg whites, but it's just 2 to 3 whites as opposed to the 6. And then you don't fold it. You use the whisk to mix it in. So it's extra dense and it's like
Ugh.
chocolate pudding and it's outrageously good. And that's going to be going up on the site soon. So that is basically what my week has been, or my week and a half has been, is just photographing and eating and photographing and eating and photographing.
Oh my god, it's so impressive.
Well,
Like,
thanks, but it's I out of everything right now, because the world's a mess and Google is a mess and AI is taking
mhm,
everyone's jobs. It's the one piece of my work that I am so happy. It just makes
mhm, yeah,
and so that's sort of been what my food week has been like.
mhm.
So talk to me more. Is there anything more you want to talk about with the bakery book?
Well, it's interesting. I just wanted to read to you from this recipe because I realize, I had a I learned the most about recipe writing from the late Maria Guarnaschelli, who was my
Yeah.
editor on the Apple book, and
Oh, she was, and you
I learned so
survived.
much. She
You
was
survived.
tough and really a great
Very
teacher.
tough. Very tough editor.
So, a couple things stood out to me about this recipe that I thought was interesting.
Mhm.
Uh,
The cardamom one? The cardamom bun?
yeah. So these are the cardamom buns. It's just interesting because it says scale all the dry ingredients together into a bowl. Fine.
Mhm,
And then it says scale, meaning like weigh. Okay, that's fine. That's just like a language thing. Scale the milk, water, fresh yeast, and butter cut into cubes into the bowl of a stand mixer with the dough attachment.
mhm.
Okay. And
Okay.
then it says mix at slow speed for 15 minutes. So reading that, I would think that you've got your dry ingredients in one bowl and you've got
Yeah.
your wet ingredients in the other, and now you're mixing a
The
bunch
wet
of liquid ingredients for
for
15
15
minutes.
minutes.
But actually, what you really are doing is putting everything together and mixing for 15. It's just interesting that was there no editor here who was like, that's really unclear?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it kind of goes on like that, where if I didn't already have maybe some experience baking, I
Mhm.
would have been quite confused. It does have really nice step-by-step photos for like the roping.
And that's something that I was so against before. Like, remember the Pioneer Woman when she came out with her first books, she had all these step photos because she had them
Yes.
on their site. And I remember thinking, "Are you serious? People actually gonna look at step photos?"
Right.
We do.
Right.
Really, really do. And so now I'm putting them on all the recipes. I'm going back through all of them, and adding them. But it's interesting about that with Maria, talking about Maria Guarnaschelli. We were at a conference together. Maria was there, and she was one of the speakers, and I was a speaker. And it was at Greystone. Remember Greystone
Oh,
in
that place was
Napa?
beautiful, yes. But it
Wonderful.
was the CIA's West Coast
It
campus.
was called Greystone, I think, and it was just wonderful, and we were there, and, either it was there or after when she called me it was right after the chocolate chip, recipe came out in the New York Times, and she said, "I
Mhm.
want you to do a chocolate chip cookie book." And I'm like,
Huh.
"Maria, no." I said, I did what I think is truly the best chocolate chip
Mhm,
recipe
mhm.
I've ever experienced." She said, "But there's so much to do." I said, "Maria, do people really need 120 recipes for chocolate chip cookies?" She was really mad at me. She was pissed off.
It's
I should have done it because everyone else has swooped into that space. Now there's
Yeah.
cookbooks galore of all kinds of chocolate chip cookies, and what she wanted me to do was go to all 50 states and find kind of an
Oh, that's
iconic. Why did I not do it, Amy? Where were you? Why were you? Why did you not tell me what to do? You weren't in my life at that point. And I'm like, "I can't believe this."
Thank you.
I turned Maria Guarnaschelli down. This is like turning down a what? It's like turning. Are you gonna go higher?
My
Oh,
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 my liege just brought me a beautiful bun.
pull up the plate?
Yeah, it's a bun.
That is
Really
impressive.
nice.
Look at you.
It's
You're
beautifully
you
laminated. I know my light's a little harsh here, but
yeah.
the
Did you say my
lamination
liege just brought me this? My liege?
Yes. I texted, I was like, "Hey, if the buns are ready, can you please bring me one?"
So a couple of questions. Kitchen Beard said, "What is your light source?" I have a Godox AD 600 flash, and that's what I use all the time, and I think it's absolutely great. Laura said, "Can't wait for the SpaghettiOs recipe." That's my Laura. That's the beef. That's Laura Beef, and she's Midwestern through and through, and
Mm.
and it's definitely gonna be perfect for you, Laura. And Robert shout out, David, I ordered the book you mentioned the other day, Who Put the Beef into Wellington. Oh, excellent, Rob. I am so glad that you bought that. Have you seen this book, Aim? I still have it from last week.
No.
Who Put
Oh,
the
that's
Beef?
fun. Oh, that's really fun.
And
I love that.
it's all the classic ones, and it's got like the old timey illustrations and stuff. You know,
Ooh,
it
nice.
tells you all about the history of all the dishes. Coronation chicken, I went through this last week with them. Omelet Arnold Bennett, Palms Anna, all the classics, pizza margherita, tortellini, uh, apple charlotte, all of them. So I'm really glad, Rob, that you got it. I'm really glad. And then what was I gonna say? Don't get old,
Well,
Amy.
I'm
Don't get
just
old.
eating my bun now, and I'm very happy, but, what about, how about your moment of outrage and indignation? And we should probably just explain quickly
Yeah,
what
you
that
wanna explain? And I'll do
well,
my cookbooks after that.
one day we were talking about oh god,
Okay.
I'm getting indignant just the topic of these ridiculous annual day, it's
Oh,
National
such
Key
an
Lime Pie Day.
peanut butter day, National Jelly Bean Day, or
I mean,
something.
it's so made up and it's so silly, and so I got very like, we were talking about it, but I really went on a tear about it, and so that became kind of a little bit of a thing of, Amy's moments of outrage and
Outrage and
indignation.
indignation. And so when we had the show, Adam would do, "And now, a moment of outrage and indignation with Amy Traverso." It was great. And she'd just go on a
It was
tear,
so good.
go on a tear. First of all, I need to ask, what is alien bees? Anyone know what this is? Robert says, "Yay for alien bees." And then Kitchen Bees, "I love alien, but what is alien bees?" Hello,
Yes,
people? I am at a loss.
alien
I'm experiencing FOMO.
oh, the brand name of lights.
Oh, I knew that. I'm a photographer. So my moment of outrage and indignation is every damn person on TikTok, Instagram, all of these things, they're saying now they discovered a new way to make caramelized onions fast. They tip in a little bit of water into the pan and they think they're geniuses. And I'm like, children, before you were born, I was doing this because I was freaking impatient. And I was
Right.
always burning onions on the pan and they were just getting too dark. So I started tipping in water. And I realized when I tipped in water and I put the cover on, they
Mhm.
steam very quickly, like in a
Right,
kitchen. And you don't have to go through that first 20 minutes or 25 minutes. You cut it all off and then you
right,
continue caramelize them. So you can get caramelized onions. Remember the day when people were saying, you can do caramelized onions in 20 minutes, of course, but you really can't. The
right.
old way. I remember even Melissa Clark, I think one recipe said 20 minutes. And I'm like, wow, Melissa,
Huh,
come on. Not 20 minutes.
right.
And it was like 45. And so everyone's like, I discovered this new way. Oh my God, it's so great. Oh my God. This is good. Do you know this guy on TikTok? He goes,
I can't
come
even go on
with
TikTok. I get
me.
so upset.
You're not on it?
It makes me feel old, and I just I don't know. I love Instagram. I'm not on TikTok anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's just one creator who always takes down social media influencers, food influencers, and he always says, "Come with me." And that's what I feel these people are doing. They're like, "I just made a new way of doing caramelized onions. Watch
Mm,
me." And I'm like, "No, no, child, no. We've been
yes.
doing this. The old people, the OGs have been doing this for a very long time."
Yeah.
So that is definitely my moment of outrage and indignation. What
Yeah.
about you? Would you have one? You always have one.
Yeah. I'm what is the deal with what happened to clementines? Clementines used to be the thing, the Cuties brand
Yeah.
clementines that you'd go to the store, the things the smaller, easier to peel citrus fruit
Yeah, yeah.
that were reliably in stores.
Mhm,
And then winter ends and we go through all the summer fruits and we come back around to winter again.
mhm.
There's no clementines. It's all mandarins now. And
Really?
I know that I could look this up and learn. I did. To be fair, I while I was standing in Trader Joe's, I did a very cursory search and I did not get a good answer. And the best answer I could find was something along the lines of like, not all clementines are mandarins, but all mandarins are something like it was like
One of those, yeah. What yeah.
but like, why did we go from everything being called a clementine? And I was really bought in. I love them. I was
Yeah.
like a clementine girl. And now it's all mandarins. And then now, and it's like sumo mandarin. It's all mandarins.
And
Why?
those sumos are like, they're like beach balls. They're
Yeah,
huge.
they're amazing. I mean, I
Yeah,
love
they
sumos,
are, but
but
they're huge.
they're huge. I don't know if it was like there's some sort of blight on
Maybe.
clementines or if
Yeah.
it was like a marketing, but I just don't understand why clementines completely disappeared from the marketplace. If anyone knows, I mean,
Put it
I
in
think
the
it's the
chat.
same thing. I think the mandarins are clementine, but I just I don't understand why I had to learn a new word for the thing that I like, you know? It bothers me,
I
and it
don't want to
bothers me
learn
that it
new
happened with no
vocabulary, damn it.
explanation. There was
We got
no
a couple
explanation.
we got a couple of questions. So now that we know what
Okay.
alien bees are, and then Robert, no, we were definitely talking lighting. That's not a problem. And Rob says, doesn't a little sugar help caramelize onions too? I think I read that somewhere. It does, absolutely. But the thing is, onions have enough natural sugar in it that caramelizes beautifully by itself. Do you add sugar when you caramelize onions?
I mean, sometimes if I'm trying to speed it up a little,
Mm,
um, also the pinch of baking soda can do that as well.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's funny, I haven't caramelized onions in a while. Let me just say one other thing about clementines. How many of us have terrible memories of canned mandarin segments from our childhoods? So
Yeah.
why do we have to go back to I just it's like you're asking me to revisit a really dark moment in my
In
childhood.
your life.
Okay. So,
Did
moving
I ever tell you I had a college girlfriend, right, Janet, and she you can laugh, it's okay. It was a dark moment in my past. I love Janet. We're still friends now
No,
after
I
all
know.
these years. As a matter of fact, I walked
Does
her
she live in
mom.
Canada, David? Was she your Canadian girlfriend, Janet?
He was very American. It was such a chaste relationship. But anyway, we're still friends. As a matter of fact, I just I walked Janet's mother down the aisle at Janet's
Aw.
daughter's wedding.
Oh, that's
So
so
it was really
sweet.
wonderful. We were very
Oh.
good friends, but I remember I had never had mandarin oranges. I mean, we didn't eat those things. I was Portuguese. We didn't. We ate fava beans. We ate pork. We
What
ate
about fruit?
only fruit that my father grew,
Mm.
which was two types of pears, three types of apples, and peaches. That's all we had and really never had Clementine. So we were in college, and her mom worked in for Minskoff Theater, so the Broadway producer. And so we were always going to shows when we were in college. I was an actor in college at Carnegie Mellon, so was Janet. And so Janet made this exotic salad, and it was lettuce,
Almonds?
huh?
Did it have almonds in it? Sliced almonds?
It had sliced almonds, it did, and mandarin orange slices with a vinaigrette. I thought it was the snazziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I thought it was the height of chicness, and it had come out of, I think, Gourmet Magazine in 1982 or
Right.
1981, and that's the very first time I had mandarin
I
orange.
totally knew that salad. I am familiar with that salad. I'm thinking now, and oh boy, we need to watch I need to watch the Jeff Smith documentary, the Frugal Gourmet
Oh,
documentary.
yeah.
I honestly I have to say, as a kid watching public television, that show really, like, opened my eyes to this world of food beyond, the food I knew, and I did really enjoy the show, and I know a lot of people were harmed by him, and so
Yeah, a
whole
lot,
different
yeah.
story, but I feel like the first dish that aside from the really wonderful, like, homemade from scratch Italian food that I grew up eating, there was a Frugal Gourmet recipe for, like, it was a 4 cheese pasta dish with broccoli
Mhm.
that it was, like, the height of I remember, like, making that and thinking, "I have arrived.
4
I
cheese,
have
not 1, not
coexisted,"
2, not 3, but 4. 4 cheeses.
including one called Asiago and one called Fontina.
It's like, "Oh my god, what are those things?" Right? Yeah, it's amazing to think back. Now that must have been in the '80s or
Late
'70s?
'80s.
Late '80s, yeah, because
I
'cause I'm
was a
10 years older
teenager,
than you.
yeah.
So I remember the 70s with a lot of that stuff. And I think Jeff was around at that point. People who don't know, Jeff Smith was the frugal gourmet, and he was also a pastor, wasn't he? Yeah, he was a
I think a
pastor.
Unitarian.
And but come to find out, there was all these allegations. He was also, I think, he became an alcoholic,
Hmm.
really bad alcoholic. And then he was sexually abusing young men and boys. And so that was just came out after the show was done, and I think he'd passed away and everything, right? I think he had passed away when it came out, the
Yeah, in
allegations.
fact, going to loop back to Maria Shelley, she was his editor
Was
for his
she
cookbooks.
really?
Yeah, I remember
I
talking
don't
to her
know.
about him. Yeah.
Did she know anything, Maria?
She just said no, I don't think she knew about she just said he was a terrible alcoholic, but I don't think she was aware of the
Wow.
abuse. Yeah.
But there were some good recipes that he had. I mean, I'm
And
just
the story
finished.
she was a good storyteller. I
He
mean,
was. He
yeah,
was.
monsters can tell good stories too.
Yeah, monsters can tell good
Yeah.
stories. So Rob Machado said, "Yep, I remember him too since I grew up in Massachusetts. Absolutely."
Mm.
And Robert says, "Clementines, cuties, halos. Everyone has to have their own brand name." It's exactly true. It is a marketing thing.
Is it
It's
a
a total.
marketing thing? I feel like it's a varietal thing. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if it's a varietal. I mean, it's. I mean,
I
is it a
thought, well, I should
varietal?
look this up, but then I thought, no, because I need to be indignant, so I don't want to have an answer. I'm just going to
I
show
want to
up.
sit here. Damn it! And no one take away my indignation about mentoring clementines.
Now, you've inspired me, I should say, to start a Substack.
Uh-huh.
So if I come up with an answer for this thing, I
All right.
will post about it on my Substack, which I just started yesterday. So
Yes. And so
thank
anyone, if you have any questions, comments, if you want to ask Amy or me anything, Amy about she is the author of the Apple Livers Cookbook, which is terrific.
it's a
Uh
little off season. Yeah.
a little off
We'll
season, but
talk about it in the fall.
yeah, but you can still get it. Or if you want to ask any questions about the upcoming season of
Weekends with Yankee. Yeah. Thank you for
you're welcome. It's
so
coming up. You
our
are bad
10th
at selling, Amy.
our 10th season. I know I'm terrible. Um, I'm so amazed. It's really good. Public television is challenging. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of the pressures of like other types of television, but the pressure is you have to fund your own show in order to make it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thankfully, we have a sales team that has managed for 10 years now to sell enough sponsorships for us to produce this show, which is incredible. I mean, there are definitely shows with much bigger names that haven't lasted 10 years just because of the funding piece.
Funding.
So anyway, the 10th season is premiering the first weekend of April. It with public television, shows can kind of roll out over a period of weeks. So all the New England stations
Hmm.
will start broadcasting it on Sunday, April 5th, but each station might have a slightly different time.
Yeah.
Um, and then it actually airs in all the 50 major television markets. So it'll roll out over the next 10 weeks, depending on where you are in the country. And then after it has a chance to air on all the public television stations, it goes to um, sorry, Amazon Prime, where it's under the PBS umbrella, PBS
Okay.
Passport. Yeah. So anyway, but it was.
Anything we should look for? Any want to spill any beans and let us know, like some upcoming things that
Let's see. Well,
you're particularly proud of?
I we did well. Actually, this we filmed a sort of behind the scenes at Tanglewood, which was
Wow.
wonderful.
Mhm.
It was a beautiful day in late summer. I got to interview Keith Lockhart and go behind, backstage, which I've gone to Tanglewood my whole life. So that was a thrill. And we also had a woman who's just Tanglewood is famous for the picnic scene.
Yeah.
People take it very seriously and they bring silver and somebody said, what's the name of the show? It's called Weekends with Yankee. And it does stream if you sign into the website, you can watch episodes on newengland.com. It's actually newengland.com. Anyway,
I'll write that in there.
so uh so we people bring silver candelabras and beautiful foods, and it's really fun to kind of walk around. I mean, a lot of people are just sitting on lawn chairs, but you will see these gorgeous. So we set up the most beautiful picnic with this champion.
Mm.
Yeah. So um okay, Lila's got the answer, but I'm
That's
going to
my
wait on that.
Lila.
I'm
That's
going
my
to
Lila.
wait on that for a second. So anyway, but the great thing was that led to we were hanging out with the head of PR for the
Tanglewood?
Boston
Uh-huh.
Pops
Oh,
Symphony,
the Pops, yeah.
and she said, if you would be interested, we would you be interested in reading the night before Christmas with the Pops for the Christmas concerts? And so that led to this an experience that I was so nervous about, but that was so wonderful, and I'll never forget it. And because
Oh my
how many
gosh.
times have I gone to see the Pops concert, the Christmas concert? So to be up there with them reading this thing that they read in every performance, it was
And when
such a highlight.
the night before Christmas, so was it a fall episode? I mean, a
No,
fall
sorry,
evening?
sorry. So I didn't tell that story super clearly. So we filmed the Tanglewood segment, which is
Okay.
gonna air. But then while we were filming it, I spoke with Jan Devereaux, who's the head of PR. She
Mhm.
said, "How about in December, you come down and do a reading of the
Wow,
night?"
so they didn't film it for the show.
No, they didn't. But
Oh,
I
unfortunately.
have, I'll put up a video. I have on my Instagram, which is at Amy Traverso. I did a little, like, highlight reel, um,
I'll do that.
and, it was so good. It was so fun. So that segment really shines very brightly because it led to these other wonderful things.
Wonderful.
Oh, shoot. Kitchen Beard says the show doesn't seem to be showing. It's probably not airing right now because they already aired season 9. But I know my cousins who live in San Francisco have watched the show. But I think probably it's just not up right now because they don't have a new season. So
Mm.
keep your eyes peeled for in the next few weeks.
And so, Lila says, AI says, clementines are actually a specific small and usually seedless variety of mandarin oranges known for being exceptionally sweet and easy to peel. Just looked this up
Thank
this
you,
morning.
Lila.
Thank you,
But
Lila.
why aren't there any clementines in the market anymore then? Like,
Maybe they're just calling them all Mandarin. Maybe Mandarin scores better in focus groups as opposed to
maybe
clementines or something like
I thought
that.
clementines are doing really well.
And so Rob says, I sadly now live in Pennsylvania after living in New England, Hawaii, and other states. But
Mm.
Amy's Weekend with the Yankees airs here, and I watch it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's a great show. I was actually a guest on it.
You were. Yes.
Yeah, it was
That
fun.
was a great episode. Yeah.
That was a fun episode. We made pork and clams, right?
Yep.
That was the dish that we made, and we went all around Portugalia Marketplace, which was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
That
And
place was incredible.
that
If people
was
haven't been there, you wanna just quick
yeah.
word
So
of
Portugalia Marketplace is in Fall River, Massachusetts, and it started out in the garage of the Benavides family. Michael Benavides and his father, I can't think of his dad's first name, and it was in the back in their yard. It's a small one-car garage, and they were just importing things from Portugal from the Azores and mostly the Azores and some from the mainland because a lot of people. It's the biggest little Portugal I think in America, if I'm not mistaken. It's got a really, really big concentration of Portuguese people, mostly Azorians. And the reason why Azorians is because Azorians were incredible whalers and sailors. And so when the whaling trade was really big in New Bedford, they all moved to New Bedford and then Fall River nearby. And that's where my family settled. And that's where my mom was born. I was born, but everyone else was born in the Azores. And did you know, Amy, that actually, uh, who wrote Moby Dick? Why can't I think of his name? I would say Thomas
Herman
Mann.
Melville.
Herman Melville. Did you know he actually went to the Azores and was with Azorian whalers? Ever learn about
Wow.
that? Absolutely. And there's the Portuguese in the character of the Portuguese in the first chapter of Moby Dick. So he had a real connection with the Portuguese. Anyway, so getting on out of the way, it started there for the Azorians, and then it went to this warehouse, and it was just a kind of a still, warehouse, kind of dingy, just a typical factory, old factory. Then they moved to this new place. I don't know how many years ago, many years ago now. It's now the Italy of Portuguese cuisine. It is, you can find exquisite canned fish. I mean, like we're talking like gorgeous sardines, which I do not like, gorgeous sardines, gorgeous tuna, canned tuna,
Mm.
all and seasoned, some with rosemary, some with tomatoes, some with alecrim, that's rosemary, and amazing chocolates that are in former Portuguese colonies, beautiful,
Best selection of
massive
Portuguese wine, right? Portuguese wine?
Portuguese wines, lots and lots of Portuguese wines, all the homemade foods, all the sausages, and they have the biggest salt cod room in America.
A whole room.
Yeah, and it's wicked long. It's like 50, 40 feet long and has all kinds of cod from all of the North Atlantic and all kinds. I think I maybe talked about this somewhere. I talked about this. They have like cod cheeks, they have the stringed cod, they have the tail, they have the big, big, thick fillets, and it's called Portugalia Marketplace. And if you are looking for anything Portuguese, and even the gorgeous ceramics
Yeah,
and
they have gorgeous gifts.
it's
Yeah.
just amazing. It's Portugalia Marketplace in Fall River, Massachusetts. And I'll make sure that when I do the notes of the show tomorrow, I will add all these links to the books, the recipes, and everything that we're talking about. Let me tell you that some books that I've been delving back into. Oh my God, the salt cod room is something else, isn't it, Rob? And then Rob also said, I've been to Portugalia. It reminds me of a mini Portuguese version of Italy. Exactly. So these are old timey books. Do you remember this book,
I love that
The
book.
Flavor Bible?
So good.
I just turned to it. I've told one of the guests that came to Italy on the Cook's Tour of Florence. She has an incredible palate. Her name is Mary Kay, and she's got an incredible palate. And she had never heard of the book, and she was just kind of beginning her delving not food. She's been cooking for a while, but really getting into flavors. And I told her about this. What's great about this book, guys, is that it will take like I'm looking right now here. It says grapefruit. It tells you the season. It tells you what it tastes like. It tells you the weight, which is light, meaning light as far as what to eat. It's a light thing. And then I can't read with this. The volume is loud. So they talk about volume in the sense of loud to quiet, and loud being that it's an assertive flavor. And the techniques bake, broil, and raw. And then it tells you all the ingredients that go along with it, things that match beautifully. So, for instance, arugula, avocado, Campari, champagne, crab, lemon, lime, pomegranate, sorbet, brown sugar, white sugar, and it has it for all of the ingredients. And then it gives you recipe ideas. And it's just, it's really a great book. And I've been using it as I've been trying to develop more recipes and just looking for some interesting flavor combinations because I don't want to like get sucked down that tube that everyone is or that drain that everyone's being sucked down, which is you see stuff like an Instagram and you or TikTok, and then you make one slight variation, you make another dish. I want to try to find something that I'm not seeing out there. And
Yeah.
the other one is this, the
Oh, I don't
Talisman.
know that one.
This is like an old-timey book. It's the most iconic Italian cookbook ever written. The Talisman of Happiness. That's what it's called.
Wow.
I know, by Ada Boni. And so
Oh, I have some of her other stuff. Okay.
and it's got like it's like almost the entire canon of Italian cuisine
Ugh.
from oysters, hack, um, uh, pizzas, pastas, I mean, but many, many, many variations of them. And another person on the Cook's Tour of Florence, Paula, had said that a friend had gifted her that, and she told us about it. And I had to go out and get it. And so
Oh,
those are
that's
some of the ones.
amazing.
But it's an old book. It's been around since the 20s, and the
I
Flavor
have her book,
Bible.
Italian Regional Cooking, but I don't have that one. I just want to grab a book that's right behind
Yeah.
me that I know you're going to. Okay.
All right. So everyone, welcome, Kate. These are some new people. Welcome, Nancy. And Catherine, you're more than welcome. Hi, Gavin.
This is,
Forever Paris.
oh my God,
I don't
this
know this one.
man lives in Paris and he just did this deep dive into all the arrondissements, all the neighborhoods, and
Really?
the stores that you can find and the best cafes. And like, here's a sample. This is a
Marin?
shop. This is like a shop in Paris. You know how there's just these shops in Paris, they sell such specific
Yes,
things
they do.
and
Yeah.
such beautiful things. He's just kind of chronicles, like, look at these illustrations. They're so
Oh, that's amazing.
beautiful.
Wow. Marin Montague.
And
Montague.
so and then here's a sampling of, like, illustrations of what they sell.
Wow.
And it just takes you through all these just delights of Paris. And it's, here's a museum, the Musée de la Vie Romantique. Like, I didn't know about this museum. There's a museum
Yeah.
devoted to romance.
Romance.
It's like you just wanna curl up. And this book, actually, I'm learning how to watercolor because I wanna do
That's
an
right. You
illustrated
said
book.
that. Do you have any there to show? I want to see.
I've done it. So I have a few. Let me show. These are not actually. I have one food one. I'm working on
Okay.
really working on my on the technique. So this is a croissant I did the a couple days ago.
Amy.
Yeah, it's that
Wow.
bad, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and here's some botanicals that I've been working on, and this is the one. These are the ones I did last night.
Okay.
So I love it so much.
I'm
Like
not seeing a bit. I only see the croissant so far.
oh,
I'm getting lots
sorry,
of
hold
love,
on.
lots of hearts here, lots of loves. They're
Oh,
loving
thank you.
this.
Okay, wait, can you see?
You have to switch now to you have to switch to the you got to stop sharing, I think, and switch it to another one.
Oh, right. Okay, okay. Stop
Yeah.
sharing, and then I'm gonna start sharing again. Sorry. Where's the share screen? Okay, I see. You just can't switch between screens. That's
Yeah.
probably a good thing.
Jen Sharp just said it's
Okay.
beautiful.
So these are 2 I did last night.
Amy.
Um, and I just and there's kind of a there's a bigger there's a story to this, which is that I had this aunt. Oh, I'll stop sharing. Who I loved so much, and she never
Mm,
had kids, and we were kind of her kids. She was like a
mm.
second mom to us, and she was an art teacher and an artist. Oh, sorry, my cat just came.
Aw. Every
And
chance I can jump up.
my aunt Joan, she was just wonderful, and she tried so many times to teach me how to draw and paint, and I just never felt like I was good at it. I felt like very stuck. I didn't feel like I made a lot of progress, and then I I was like, well, I'm good at other things, so I never really tried. And she very sadly died in December of 2020 of COVID, like a month before
I remember you
being
telling me about
vaccinated. It
yeah.
was so sad, and I miss her so much, and I feel like this art thing is almost like I feel like she's sort of a presence in my life with this. I don't know, suddenly I feel like I have more ability to do it, and I
Great.
feel like at the very least, I feel like I'm honoring her. So,
You know, it's interesting because you're making me think of Jacques Pepin, 'cause Jacques Pepin does watercolors, right?
yes,
And there are a couple of other, food people who have other artistic pursuits and endeavors, and I always kinda thought, "You're so amazingly talented at what you do. Why do you wanna do something else?" You know?
right.
And I understand now with the photography, it
Yes,
gets you out of the headspace of
yes,
recipes and converting, excuse me, ounces to grams and grams to ounces, and, how do you one more time tell people how to measure flour properly if they're not gonna use a
right,
scale?
right.
And then to do something that's totally visual and
Yes,
doesn't have any words involved, I understand it now.
yes.
I really get it.
Well, I've been doing several books now to kind of learn, and one of them is Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, which is such a
Oh,
famous book.
yeah,
And I really didn't appreciate I spent so many years developing my skills as a writer and being so much on the left side of my brain, which is
yeah.
where language is processed. And my right side has been so dormant. And and also the right side, you perceive time differently on the right side. You go into a flow state when you're in your right brain.
Wow.
And I feel all of that, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, the state of flow and being blind to time and just in this complete sense of being present,
Mhm.
it's so therapeutic. I mean,
The right side of the brain controls the left side of the body.
yes.
Are you left-handed?
No, it's interesting. So there is a section of the book that talks about this. Regardless of your handedness, when you are drawing, it's the visual kind of centers of your brain are on the right side,
Mhm.
and so yeah,
Wow.
that kind of I think we need lots of forms of expression. I wonder if anyone oh, Jen says, was listening to Andrew Huberman and the Eagleman discussing creativity in the brain today. Oh, that's so
Oh, wow,
interesting.
that's great. And then
Yeah,
Kristen Beer says, "Gotta use all the neurons." Absolutely,
so
you
true.
really do.
Yeah,
Do.
yeah. Oh, this
But
is
so
fun.
we're coming up onto
Yeah,
almost an hour. I thought we'd be done
yeah.
in 40 minutes. But you know us, gab, gab, gab. So anyone, any last questions you want to ask either Amy or me, or ideas for future topics you'd like us to cover, please add them in the chat. And I also realized too, for those people who are seeing the recording, uh, just
Mhm.
say that be specific as to what you're responding to, because last time I said, "If you're interested in me having this person on, say yes. And so everyone said yes
Oh,
here.
right.
And so then the people who were doing the recording, watch the recording, I just say yes, yes, and it's not attached to what I was
Yes,
saying. Because so if you are responding to something and you're seeing the recording, just say yes to, SpaghettiOs, or what about having this particular topic? So therefore I can kind of figure out what it's about.
we are
Um,
open to feedback. We have never
we are.
done this way
This is,
before.
we are so used to working not off a script like a word for word script, but a very, very tight 45-minute uh, plan outline of exactly what it
Yeah,
is, and saying the same exact intro and the same exact outro. So us, this free flowing thing is really new for us, and it's something that I really like. I just kind of feel, why do people want to hear two people blathering on? But
I know.
um, so any questions, leave in there. Remember, the books are The Talisman of Happiness and also The Flavor Bible from me, and Amy
And for
has
me, there's Forever
Gino
Paris
Forever Paris.
and Juno the Bakery, which I guess what I can say about this is their food is so good that if you're willing to kind of navigate a little bit of imperfect recipe writing, I mean, I've made cardamom buns before, and these are incredible. I'm loving them. And I was eating them, which I know is sort of rude on camera, but
No,
I'm
it's
just
not at
talking
all.
with my mouth full.
No, it is. It's talking with my mouth full. And next time I need to have more than one glass of bubbles because
Oh,
I
yes.
suck this down in no time. Maybe I'll get a whole bottle. So we got a couple of questions. This for Laura, I think that's Laura the Bee, says this format is
Oh,
fantastic.
thank
You
you.
do. Thanks, Laura. And then Catherine, where did you buy the SpaghettiOs pasta? So it's Agnellini, Annellini, I believe. And I got it at Amazon. Unfortunately, I don't have any Italian specialty
Yeah.
stores around here, so I can't. We do have one, but he didn't have it. So I went on and I got it at Amazon. I can put the brand in the notes when this gets posted, the recording gets posted. So I'll have it there for you, Catherine. Carletta. Oh, Carletta. I love Carletta. She is, and hello, Donna. We are just about wrapping up. We're at the 1 hour mark, but thanks for joining. So,
Mm,
Catherine, look at the
Right.
recording page, and you'll see the brand, and I'll give you the link also. But I got it on Amazon, and they are called ring pasta or agnellini. Um, all right, Amy, this was great. I hope we do it
This
again. I
was
hope you want
great.
to do it again. It's
Yes,
pretty
I do.
easy,
It's so
right?
much fun. It's so good to see you.
And so I'll say, as I always said, signing off, I will say ciao, and you will say bye,
I say,
David.
"Bye, David."
Bye, everybody. Have a great night. Bye bye.